battle for Islam is, in the end, a battle of ideas. And tonight, on the campus of the prestigious Trinity College in Dublin, Ireland, there'll be a debate between mainstream Muslims and the self-appointed apostles of Islamic holy war.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Phil and welcome to This House Believes That Islamist Violence Can Never Be Justified.
The small group of Islamic extremists who turn up at every rally and protest in Britain have come here to Ireland to debate moderate clerics who say their religion has been hijacked by the likes of Anjem Choudary and Omar Brooks.
And verily we are the Muslims. We drink the blood of the enemy. We can face them anywhere. That is Islam and that's jihad. And our Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, "Ana dayyuq qattal." He said, "I laugh when I kill." And he said to his own people, "Wallahi, laqad jittukum bid-dhabh." He said, "I come to slaughter all of you." So anybody who wants to stand in face of the Muslims, he will face the banner of jihad.
There aren't many people following the banner of Omar Brooks, yet he and his colleagues here have loudly dominated the public debate about Islam. But tonight, the moderates fight back.
These people, ladies and gentlemen, have a good look at them. They actually think if you kill children, if you kill women, you would go to heaven. You have no chance in hell. And you are a lawyer, Mr. Choudary. Can I speak? You are a lawyer and you would know that you can't go to heaven except if you claimed insanity. This is not an ideology, it's a mental illness.
It's a common thing to say that the enemy, you know, they eat the babies, they kill the children, they're fundamentalists, and that happened during the Second World War. There's a lot of propaganda. What are Muslims supposed to do when they're being killed in the streets in Afghanistan and Baghdad and other places in Palestine? Do they not have the same right to defend themselves? In war, people die. People don't make love, they kill each other.
We want to remove this idea that Islam is a religion of peace. Islam is not a religion of peace. There is evidence in the book of Islam called the Quran sanctioning violence.
But does the Quran really sanction this kind of violence? No, says Sheikh Shahid, who has spent a lifetime fighting apartheid and Islamic extremism in South Africa.
These extremists claim to know Islam, but the a la carte version of Islam. They seem to portray God and his messengers as cruel and uncompassionate monsters. I demand them to provide proofs from the text of the Quran, the holy book of Islam.
Chapter number 9, verse 29. What does Allah say? Fight those who do not believe in Allah and in hereafter.
To decipher the Quran, we visited the same East End neighborhood where our journey began, to talk to Imam Usama Hassan. They say, but look, these verses in the Quran that are quoted justify this kind of violence. What's going on?
Those verses are nearly always taken totally out of context and nearly always ignoring the spiritual aspects, the aspects which talk about forgiveness and repentance.
Few people here have studied the Quran as closely as Imam Hassan. He had memorized it by the time he was 11, and at 19 he briefly fought in the jihad against communists in Afghanistan. But he says there is no justification for violent jihad here in Britain.
If you have the wrong intention, you could justify your criminal actions from any text, whether it's a Quran or Bible or Shakespeare. There are passages like that in the New Testament where Jesus Christ is alleged to say, "Think not that I have come to bring peace, I have come to bring the sword." That's a famous quote in the New Testament. But clearly most Christians don't misunderstand that to justify terrorism and wanton violence.
What is your reaction when you hear this book, the Quran, and those words taken in vain to justify what you've called crazy Islamic terrorism?
It makes me furious. The people who do that kind of action and who support it are a very tiny minority, but it only takes a handful, of course, to create devastation.
And that is why Imam Hassan's message to his flock at Friday prayers is so urgent.
Many people are terrified of Muslims. They are terrified of a brother walking down the road with his Eastern dress and his hat and his beard, because they have seen these images associated with suicide bombers. And it is up to us to dispel that fear, to smile at people, to tell them the message of Islam is not about bits of cloth. It is not about the beard or the headscarf or the face veil or about violence. It is about peace.
No one knows who will win Britain's battle for Islam. Will it be those fighting the new jihad to claim back their faith? or those who want to use religion as a weapon. The outcome will resonate far beyond these streets, these neighborhoods, and even these borders, as the rest of the world watches Britain's war within.